Hey, 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 welcome to the second edition of the Daily Algo. In the first edition, we talked about function declarations and the form of syntax of function declarations and defined all of its component parts. In this edition, we are going to talk about arguments and parameters. I'll start out by writing a basic function like we did last time. So this is the function keyword followed by the function name, followed by a set of parentheses. The parentheses will contain what are known as parameters. We're not going to put parameters in right away. We're just going to go ahead and run a function without them first. Then we have the curly brackets and the return statement. Inside to the right of the return statement, we are going to, or the return keyword, I should say, we're going to put in the expression 2 plus 2. And so that's it. It's a really simple function. It's just going to return the sum of 2 and 2. And remember, in order for the function to run, we need a function call. So we're going to go ahead and call the function. And in order for the function now to actually display, we have to use the console log method. So we do console log. Console log, again, as mentioned in the previous video, is not absolute. It's not necessary to the function. It is necessary for you to be able to see the value displayed. I'm going to go ahead and clear this. Okay, and then I'm going to save the document and then run the script. And there we go. It returns a value of 4. So it is running correctly, and it has displayed to the terminal. And so now what we will do is we will replace the 2 and 2. And the whole idea behind functions is reusability. You want to be able to reuse your code. If we hard code 2 and 2 here, this function will be essentially worthless because all it will ever do is add 2 plus 2. What if you want to add two different numbers? We do that by adding parameters. So we will just say A and B. Okay, and again, parameters are like variables. They're arbitrary. You name them whatever you want to name them. Since we're dealing with math here, A and B is acceptable. Okay, we'll put A there and B here. Okay, and so these are our parameters. The parameters get their values from arguments. And so we're going to put 2, comma 2. And so the first item will be passed to the first parameter, and the second item will be passed to the second parameter. Okay, and then the value of the parameter will be passed to A and B in the expression, and then it will return its value. So let's go ahead and save, and then run our code, and again it returns 4. Now you might be thinking, okay, so it returns the same value. Who cares? Well, we can reuse the function now. So console.log, and instead of adding 2 and 2, we add 3 and 4. Woohoo! And then we'll do another one, console.log, add 868 plus 949. And you have to keep in mind that if we added a third parameter here, it wouldn't run because or I should say a third argument in the function call. It wouldn't run because there isn't a third parameter. Okay, and so I'm going to go ahead and save the document and then clear my terminal and then run it, and you'll see. Again, when the code runs, it hits this console log. It takes the arguments 2 and 2, assigns the first argument to the first parameter, the second argument to the second parameter. Those values get passed inside the code block. They're summed and then returned back to the function call. So the function call itself evaluates to 4. In this case, the function call evaluates to 7. We can confirm that down here. And this function call evaluates to 1,817, which appears to be correct. And so the function is running correctly. The takeaway here is functions are meant for reusability of code. And again, here you can see you can have an endless number of function calls and they'll all be run through this addition process. We can do the same for multiplication. We can do the same for division. We would just create a separate function for each operation. So again, functions are reusable code. And by abstracting them in the way that we have, by not hard coding any values in the actual function, we can reuse them. We can reutilize them. And so that's it for the second edition of the Daily Algo. Until next time.